Okay, so you have two interrupt they are going to use here, which is INT0 and INT1. So this interrupt here is external hardware interrupt. Okay, they are named as a switch 2 and switch 1. Okay, so you're going to write a program in which whenever the switch 1 goes slow, okay, sekejap ya. Okay, I pause. Okay, so let's resume. Okay, so it's saying here you have two switch, okay, which is S1 and S2. Okay, so S1 here is belong to INT1, while S2 is belong to INT0. Okay, according to, sorry. Okay, according to this statement here, assume that the INT0 and INT1 pins are connected to switches named S2 and S1 respectively. Okay, so S1 is belong to your INT1, while S2 is belong to your INT2. Okay, so write a program which whenever S1 goes slow, okay, bila S1 goes slow, the content of your port C is increased by 1. Okay, so you state here, bila you press this one here, port C equal to port C plus 1. Okay, and then when S2 goes slow, okay, when you trigger S2, so what happened here, port C will decreases by 1. Minus 1. Okay, and then when the value of port C is same or bigger than 64, so when port C bigger or equals 64, okay, if yes, and this is no, if yes, what happened here, PDI goes high. Okay, so PD1 sama dengan 1. If no, PDI give 0. Okay, so you show your program. Okay, write the full program using the C language, then implement the overall system. So the program should include, okay, so this is the things that you're going to write in your program lah. Okay, so you need to declare the relevant header file to be included in the program. Okay, and then declare the interrupt vectors that you're going to use, initialize input output port. Okay, and then that used in this program, write the code that implement the INT0 ISR interrupt service routine, initialize of any relevant interrupt used in the program, and code for all relevant interrupt service routine. Okay, so for this kind of question here, okay, I advise you to draw your Atmega 32 circuit, okay, so that you know that which one belong to S1, S2 connected to what port pin, and then for the output part, what is the port that you're going to use. Okay, I just put here. Okay, so we draw our circuits. Okay, so this is your Atmega 32, and then you are going to use INT0 and INT1. Okay, so make sure that you know lah where is the location. Okay, where you're going to put the switch for INT0 and INT1. Okay, so this is your INT0 and this is your INT1. Okay, and then you have the PD1. Okay, so PD1 dekat sini, for example. Okay, so this is your PD1. Okay, now you're going to see INT0 will be connected to what port here for INT0? Okay, this INT0 akan sambung kepada port apa? Can you tell me which port that you're going to connect this switch for INT0? Okay, so PD2. What about INT1? Okay, so INT1 will go to your PD3. So you know that this one here is your input because you connected to your switches, and PD1 will become your output because you're going to give either 0 ataupun 1 whenever whenever the value of your port C greater than 64. Okay, then you have another output port which is your port C lah. Okay, so this is your port C. So port C here you have 8 bit of port C. This 8 bit here will become your output as well. Okay, so now we're going to write the program. Okay, so I just write the whole program, the whole thing inside one program, and then after that I will write the whole program, and then I will give a mark accordingly to the question lah. Okay, because in this question here you have question 1 is you need to declare your header file, and then you're going to declare your interrupt vector. Okay, so why not we just put all those things inside of one page. Okay, then I later I will find accordingly lah. Okay, according to to the question. Okay, so now we're going to do the program here. Okay, INT0, INT1. So again kita tulis lagi sekali. So this is INT0 is belong to your switch 2, and INT1 is belong to your switch 0, and this one here, when you press the switch, what happen? Port C minus, and this one here is port C plus, which is you increase your port C by 1. Okay, so now we're going to write down the program. Okay, so since this is an interrupt programming, so you need to follow this step lah. You have 3 steps here to write the external hardware interrupt. First, you need to include the file, which is the avr interrupt.h file. Okay, so we just write down first interrupt. Include. Okay, so include avr/io.hash, and then tambah satu lagi, include avr/interrupt.h. Okay, so this is to answer question 1. Okay, which is declaration of the relevant header files to be included. So this is the relevant file that you're going to include. Okay, you can include any other files actually, but the only relevant file that we are going to use for this question here is only io.h and interrupt.h. Okay, you can put the define f_cpu and centra, include the avr/delay.h pun boleh if you're going to include that, but that one will not give you marks lah. Alright, so next. Okay, after you finish step number 1, okay, so step number 2 is you're going to enable your GICR dengan status register, your SEI. So before we going to enable this interrupt here, so what we're going to do is we're going to write down our main program. So INT main void. So open curly bracket and close curly bracket down here. So this is your main program. Okay, so inside of the main program, so what you're going to do on top of your main program, apa kita nak buat? Before we start enable our interrupt. So what we going to do? Okay, we are going to can somebody help me? What we're going to write in on top of this main program? Okay, so declare. Okay, initialize your input output port. Input output port. Okay, declare your input output. Okay, so in this case here we have port C go to your output, and then port D3 and port D2 become your input, and port PD1 become your output. So we just initialize the input output port. So port C, sorry, not port C, DDRC. Okay, so DDRC equal to OXFF. So automatically what happen here? Port C sama dengan output. And then DDRD equal to 0B. Okay, so because this one here, for the port B, you see you have a combination of input and output at the same time. Okay, so we just focus here, PD2 and PD3 should must, okay, you need to set it as an input, while the rest you can set it as a output port. Okay, so you put 1, 1, 1, 1. Okay, and then followed by 0, 0, 1, 1. Okay, so what happened here is PD2 and PD3 become your input port, while the rest become your output. Okay, and then since PD2 and PD3, okay, so this is your PD2 and PD3, okay, is your input port. So what you're going to do next is you need to enable your pull-up resistor. Okay, so how to enable pull-up resistor? By writing port T equal to 0B, and then for bit that you set it as an output, you need to put it as a 0 lah. Okay, and for those bit that you make it as a input, you need to put 1. Okay, so this is enable pull up resistor dekat mana? At PD2 and PD3. Okay, lepas tu next, what are we going to do? Okay, so we are already finished initialize the input output port, and then after that barulah kita buat enable the interrupt. Okay, so GICR equal to, okay, so what value that you're going to put to your GICR? Okay, so this is your GICR because you're going to use the INT0 and INT1. Okay, so this is INT0 and this is your INT1. So what value that you need to put is 0B11000000. So enable INT1 and INT2. Okay, so once you enable INT1 and INT2, then what are you going to do? Okay, then we need to set our MCUCR lah, so that either it is a falling edge triggered or negative edge triggered. Okay, so MCUCR sama dengan 0B0000. Okay, so I just make it as a rising edge triggered, so letak 1111. And after that, okay, you enable your I flag inside your status register, okay, by writing SKEE So this is how you're going to enable your interrupt. Okay, once you finish enable your interrupt, so what are you going to do next? Okay, so we need to monitor lah. Okay, how to monitor? We need to monitor these switches here, either it's pressed or not. So how to monitor? Okay, by put the while loop. Okay, so inside of this while loop, what are you going to write here? So nothing lah, because semasa kamu tunggu this while loop here, so nothing happen. Okay, and then when you press these switches here, okay, then after that your port C and will increase or will decrease according to the interrupt that you are triggered. Okay, so we finished this is your main program. Okay, and then after that, lepas tu nak buat apa pula? Then we are going to do our ISR. Okay, so you have two ISR here that you're going to write. One is ISR for INT0, the second one is for ISR INT1. Okay, so ISR, okay, so INT0 underscore vet. Okay, so this is we're going to answer question number 4. This is your question number 4. And then tadi, okay, initialize your input output point. This is the question number 3. And then, okay, initialize relevant interrupt that you're going to use. This is question number 5. Okay, so for the INT0 interrupt service routine, what you're going to write here? Anyone? Siapa nak tolong? Okay, so write down port C sama dengan port C minus 1. Okay, so you just write down port C sama dengan port C minus 1. Why? Because when you trigger the ports in INT0, okay, your port C will decreases by 1. Okay, just asking that MCUCR could be rising or falling. Yeah, okay, you can choose either you're going to use a falling edge or rising edge, because in this question here it's not stated what edge that you're going to use. Okay, you can, as long as you use falling or rising, the answer will be correct. Okay, jangan you put the level trigger and then the level trigger is definitely wrong lah. If you put a level trigger, the answer will definitely wrong. Okay, so lepas kamu dah decrease your port C, next what are you going to do? Okay, you're going to check your port C value. Either it is greater than 64 or not. Okay, so this one here, why not kita panggil another function. Okay, it's called check value. Okay, so we call another function or subroutine called check value. So this is inside of your ISR interrupt 0. Okay, then we're going to do the ISR interrupt 1. Okay, so I just put here lah, sebelah kat sini. So ISR INT1 underscore vet. Okay, sama juga lah. Okay, so for INT1, so what happened here? Port C equal to port C plus 1. And then we are going to call another function called a check value. Okay, to check whether our port C greater or smaller than 64. Okay, and then after that, we are going to do our check value punya subroutine. Okay, so void, okay, check value. Void. Okay, so inside here. So what you're going to do under the check value subroutine. Okay, so you're going, because in this question here, it asks you to check whether the content of port C is same or bigger than 64 or not. Okay, if port C bigger than 1, okay, so yes, what happen? PD1 akan jadi high, and if no, PD1 equal to 0. Okay, so we're going to check here. So what we're going to do is, okay, so we use the if statement lah. If, okay, port C, okay, greater or equal than 64. Okay, if yes, what happen? And when yes, okay, PD1 will become 1. Okay, so you can put port D equal to port D, okay, orkan dengan 0B0000, and then, okay, make sure that this one, okay, this is 11. Kenapa this one is need to be 11? Because this is your PD2 and PD3. Okay, pull up resistor. Okay, so you need to make sure that this one always 11. Okay, and then, okay, tak perlu pun tak apa. Okay, so this, because this one we use the OR. Okay, since our value here is the current value of your port D is, this is your current value of port D. So port D sama dengan 0B, sorry 0000 1100. When you OR with this one here, so the PD2 and PD3 always 11. Okay, so never mind. No need to put the 1 dekat situ. So we just put 001 0. So this is your PD1. Okay, so automatically after you done this part here, so what happen here? Your port D akan jadi 0B 0000, and then 11, okay, 1 0. So this is your current port D. Okay, this is when the port C greater than 64 lah. Why? Because you're going to set your port D PD1 equal to 1. So else, what happen if the port C smaller than 64? So else, okay, you can put port D sama dengan port D and with 0B1111, okay, 1101. Okay, so what happen here? PD1 will equal 0. Okay, the rest of the bit here will follow the previous value. Okay, so that's it. Okay, so this one here, okay, so yang ni dengan yang ni, we answer the question 6. Okay, any question, guys? Ada soalan tak? Okay, so this is the program. Okay, to check whether your your INT0 and INT1 is pressed. If yes, then you're going to check whether your port C is greater than 64 or not. Okay, just asking that. Okay, can we put check value in the while loop? Okay, let's say if you put this one to your while loop, also can. Okay, you don't need to put the check value here. Okay, you just copy. Okay, you just copy this part here and put it to your while loop. Also can. Okay, boleh juga. Okay, thank you, Josh. Okay, any other question, guys? Ada soalan lain lagi? Okay, if not, I think we stop here. Okay, we finish our interrupt programming. Hopefully that, okay, if you doing your apa ni experiment 3 for your microprocessor lab, okay, you can do it well. Okay. So next week we will start with the timer programming. Okay, how to write the timer program. Okay, thank you.